Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Weir 121 and I'm going to be bringing you a Super Smash Bros. 4 video, and I first would like to apologize for the quality of this image. The actual pictures of the characters that are on this roster are much better than this. I tried finding a better one, but this was the best one I was able to find. So I'm going to start by saying I've set a couple rules for this roster of mine. There are, first off, if a third party is already represented, they're not going to receive a second character. So there are not going to be any other Sega characters on this list or Konami characters. Also, I have the rule where there must be a balance between Pokemon, The Legend of Zelda, and the Mario series. I decided for this roster to have 6 of those characters. Every other franchise, the most they can have is 4. And I figured that was fair enough to give 4 to the other franchises. And I want you to remember, though, before this list starts, that this is my opinion. You're free to have your own opinion, post a video response, post it in the comments, or just whatever you want to do. It's fine by me. Alright, well, first off, we're going to need to have, we gotta have Mario, obviously. I don't know necessarily if, this is probably how I do. I'll talk about the veterans as well, I guess. So I think Mario will pretty much be the same as he was in Brawl. I'm hoping like his fireball moves a little faster, because that was always very easy to dodge. And they might replace Flood, his down B, to something different. Or, yeah, they might get rid of Flood. But then again, they might not. Because the main problem people didn't like about it is it did no damage. Same thing with Squirrel's Beam Water Gun. It also didn't do any damage. When it should do, I think they should keep both those moves. Mario keeps it Flood, and Squirtle can keep Water Gun, but make them do a little bit of chip damage, because really, if they don't do any damage, then there's no point to really using them. That's why no one really used those attacks. I think overall, Mario will be used a lot more than he was in Brawl, because Mario wasn't. If you played Brawl actually, not just for fun, if you were like more of a competitive brawler, or just played a lot with friends, you really didn't use Mario unless you wanted to go easy on your friend, because Mario wasn't one of the best characters. He was mid tier. Okay. I'm gonna be making a lot of references to the tier list. I mean, obviously the tier list is a fan opinion, obviously. So, might be really high up on the tier list, you might not be that good with, and vice versa. There might be someone who's really low on the tier list, but that you might be like really good at. So just keep that in mind when I'm like trashing certain characters or like overhyping certain characters, because I will be basing it off of the tier list. Next up, we got Luigi. Now, Luigi is an interesting case, because in the original Smash, he was a direct clone of Mario. Then Melee came around. They're still clone-ish, not so much. Brawl, they did really well in making Luigi different enough for Mario. I mean, sure, he had the same up B, and he had the fireball, but his side B and his down B were different from Mario, and they had different final smashes. So, but with the release of Luigi's Mansion 2, you can expect them to give Luigi something to do with the Poltergeist in his moveset, whether it's his grabs they use it, or some of his B moves. You can definitely expect that to be implemented into his moveset. The problem with Luigi is actually one of my because before I started recording this video, I just looked up on my Brawl stats, and Luigi is my most played character. I've like over 25 plus hours as Luigi, and like 400 victory just with Luigi. And so that much, for that main reason, just for my own sake, I really hope Luigi is a very valuable pick and viable. And come SSB4, and I hope that they don't make too many changes to him, except by adding the poltergeist. Like, I love his side B. They need to keep the side B because that was always. I preferred the side B as a recovery move over the super jump punch because I don't know. I just felt like it was better to go horizontal than up vertically. That's basically it about Luigi, though. I don't see how there's going to be too much of a difference. He'll probably still be fairly high up in the tier list. That's something I always thought was funny, though. Luigi, in all 3 Smash games, he was always higher up than Mario was for some reason. I just don't. I mean, I like it because I like Luigi more than I like Mario. I like his personality and just the way the character feels. Alright, that's enough about Luigi. Alright, we got Peach. A lot of people don't like Peach. They say she's not a fighter. She just looks awkward in Smash. I agree with that somewhat, but I mean, she's important in Nintendo, so she's got to, and she's obviously right up there with Mario, Luigi, the person that's gonna be on the next slide as well. I think Peach. There was something that people always didn't like about her was that she had not that good of a Final Smash, but I actually really liked Peach's Final Smash in Brawl. Obviously, you didn't want to have the Smash Ball early on. You wanted to get the Smash Ball when your opponents were at higher damage percents, because as soon as you put them to sleep, all you'd have to do is go up for a nice forward smash attack and hope you get like the frying pan or whatever. Or like the frying pan is the best of her forward smashes. The worst is the golf club. I hate the golf club. But the frying pan and the tennis racket are pretty good, but the golf club, it doesn't do that good. So, Peach, I actually don't know where Peach was in the tier list. I think she was like lower mid tier. Yeah, like lower mid tier in Brawl. That's another thing though. I was confused why they didn't have Peach in the original Smash. I think they should have had her. I think they could have fit her in there somewhere. But no, she got added in Melee. Changes to her moveset. Maybe something from Super Princess Peach, her DS game that she has. Really, other than that, you don't really see her doing much. She's always the damsel you have to save in the Mario games. So unless you give her either something completely made up that you've never seen in a game, which would look awkward on her, or if you give her like something, like I said, the emotions that she has in the Super Princess Peach, like the anger and the sadness and whatnot, that you guys could implement that into her moveset possibly. Something I always thought was funny about Peach is that Peach can fly for a short while. I always thought that was funny. Peach was actually, I think, if I remember correctly, Peach was higher up than Mario was, but not as high as Luigi. Luigi was like the really high upper mid tier. He was, I think, like 12th or something, 12th or 13th, somewhere around there, where he was really high and he was really good. But Peach is okay. Peach is the kind of character that you, at least in Brawl, you weren't gonna win like a major tournament with Peach, or you weren't gonna get like consecutive wins online. But in SSB4, I think they'll try and make her a little bit better. The big question I have though is, are they gonna, well, for all the characters, are they gonna bring back the Final Smashes, or are they oh wait, yeah, they are. What am I talking about? They showed the Final Smashes in the trailer. Whoopsie. Okay, well, and then the question is, are they going to keep the same Final Smash for Peach, or are they going to give her something different? Because, like, what else would you give her? not much else comes to mind. I mean, then again, I'm not that very creative when it comes to movesets. Anyway, that's enough about Peach. Alright, we got Bowser. Now, this image is out of date, because they've already shown what Bowser looks like in the trailer, and I have to say, I kind of preferred Bowser's brawl look over his appearance in ssb4. I kind of liked him hunched over. Now he's like taller, and the just the animation of Bowser's not as good. Bowser was fairly low tier just because of a lot of the heavyweight characters in Brawl were really low tier, which means a lot of the villains are heavyweights. Changes to his moveset. His A moveset I think will change. So I think like the drop kick that they showed in the trailer, I think that was probably like a down A or down smash or something like that. Any other I don't. I think it'd be a good idea to replace his up B and give him the Koopa Clown car, just for the fact that it would give him more vertical recovery, and that's one thing that was always hard with Bowser is because he's a heavyweight, he falls a lot faster. Final Smash, Giga Bowser. Only problem I have with Giga Bowser on like the smaller stages is that all your opponent has to do is hide in like a small corner, and then you can't touch them basically. So if it's a big open stage and there's not many places to hide, then yeah, it's a good Final Smash. But in the smaller stages, it's not. I think competitive play when it comes to ssb4, I think Bowser will be picked up a little bit more because I think that Sakurai and Nintendo realized that quite a few people were disappointed with Bowser and a lot of the villains because they're heavyweights and you expect like a lot of power from them to counteract their slow speed, but they really didn't have that much power. I mean, it's like like a smash attack from Bowser should do like 15 to 20% damage, but it didn't. It does like maybe 10 between 10 and 15 at most. So, yeah, I think Bowser will get a couple tweaks to make him better. Not just visually wise, because obviously in my mind, visuals don't have to do too much. I'm the kind of person that when I come to play Smash, or any fighting game in general, I don't really care about the basics, or like the basic visuals and whatnot. I actually care about the characters and how well they play, and how good combos you can set up and whatnot. Alright, for the first newcomer, which is probably what you're actually here for, is Bowser Jr. Now, here's me going back to what I said about Mario, though. I was saying how they might get rid of Flood. They also might not get rid of Flood, because if they add Bowser Jr., they're more than likely going to have for Bowser Jr.'s down B, a Shadow Mario transformation. Because, let's be honest, it was his first appearance and his most important appearance for Bowser Jr. was in Mario Sunshine, which is when he debuted in Mario games. And that's when he was the most memorable. I hear from some people that they think he'd be a clone of Bowser, and no way would Bowser Jr. be a clone of Bowser. I mean, sure, they might have two similar abilities. I would say they probably have Bowser Jr. would share the same down B, which is the Bowser Bomb, and they'd probably have the same B. But up B, they'd have different. Either give Bowser Jr. the Koopa Clown car, or give that to Bowser and just give Bowser Jr. Bowser's old up B. And then for the side B, Bowser's is like that claw attack. I think Bowser Jr.'s will probably be like something involving the paintbrush, possibly. Or just or like throwing like a Koopa shell or something. There's just, no reason for Bowser Jr. to be a clone of Bowser. Now, as far as how I think he would be in ssb4, like play wise, I think that he would make history in the fact that he would be a small heavyweight character, if that makes sense. Because he'd be about the same size as like Pikachu, Kirby, Olimar, and be lightweight, but he would actually pack a stronger punch and do more damage than Mario or Kirby would do. Comparing him to the other Mario characters besides his dad, I think he would probably be like around the same place, not play style, but the same realm in like competitive play as like Mario. Because it's always obvious. I think like Luigi and Bowser are always two of the better people to play as. Okay, again, my personal opinion. If you know how to play as them, because obviously Mario is the most balanced of the four Mario characters, but Luigi and Bowser are actually better, and then Peach is just something to play with, which I think they'll improve with. So yeah, Bowser Jr. No reason to be a clone. He would fit well, and he would probably be on the same lines as Mario as a good, like, balanced character that is easy to learn and play as. Alright, for the next Mario character, I actually really had to think. It came down to a three-way, well, not really, it didn't come down to a tie, but I had to think between Paper Mario, Toad, and Waluigi. And just for personal preference, because I like the character the most, I chose Waluigi. And I know a lot of people dislike Waluigi. And, I mean, yeah, wasn't there since the original, like, Toad was, which I guess gives Toad a little bit more than Waluigi. But I still think that since Waluigi is a bad guy and Smash is kind of lacking in villains, that Waluigi could be added. And he could also be added for comic relief, and I think he'd just be overall like a fun character that's unpredictable in competitive play. He'd probably be one of those characters that you're either really good with, or if you really suck at and you rage at whenever you play as him. I think that, really, to be honest, I think that Waluigi, though, would fit well. I think he'd fit better than Toad or Paper Mario. Toad would fit okay. Okay, I'll be honest right now. Paper Mario, I don't know why people want Paper Mario. I mean, I understand, like, he represents the Paper Mario series, and that's a very popular side series but I just don't think that Paper Mario, to me, I just don't think Paper Mario would be a good character. And I'll be honest, if Paper Mario did get added, Paper Mario would probably be one of my least played. But if Waluigi gets added, Waluigi would easily be in like my top 4 or 5 characters, just for the fact that so many people dislike him. I could just see it, like, you going online playing as Waluigi, and then you beat someone with Waluigi, and just like, I can imagine like the person on the other side just like raging because they just got defeated by like one of their least favorite characters. Alright, we're done with the Mario series for now. Next up, we got the Donkey Kong series, and something I'd like to comment about Donkey Kong is, from the Smash trailer, is that he got a really nice visual update. This is the exact opposite of what I said about Bowser. Bowser's visual update, I didn't like, but Donkey Kong's, I like him. His fur looks a lot cooler, and really, to be honest, he just looks better. Changes to moveset, in the trailer, I think it seems like his up B was changed or something like that, where it if you use your up B when you're just standing on the ground or something like that, it doesn't actually just put you up in the air. It does like just a spin on the ground. So kind of like a Link up B, I guess. Which is good for Donkey Kong because that makes it so that he can have somewhat of an AoE attack. And though for those of you who don't know what AoE stands for, it means area of effect. But you probably already knew that. Donkey Kong was always one that was not like the other like main franchise characters. He wasn't like Mario, Pikachu, and Link, where he was easy to use. I mean, he was okay, but Like, you had to know what you were doing and how much uh, damage you could do at certain times, and how long it took to do certain animations. Because the fact that he is a heavyweight character, not as heavy as like Ganon and like Bowser. And for a heavyweight, Donkey Kong could move fairly fast in Brawl, which I'm assuming he'll still be able to move fairly fast in ssb4. Uh, any other changes to his move set? Donkey Kong really doesn't have anything. I mean, his normal B, the charge punch. That's what makes him, I think, iconic in the game. Was that charge punch? Ground pound was his down B. His up B I just talked about, where there's a slight change to it. The only thing I could possibly see is a change to his final smash, because okay, that was one of my least favorite final smashes. I mean, I'll be honest, I love Donkey Kong. He's one of my favorite characters in Brawl, but his final smash, unless you're on a really small stage, or the people you're facing are either incompetent or just unlucky, you're not gonna hit them that much with his Kong Beat final smash. Yeah, that's about it about Donkey. Alright, Diddy. Diddy is along the same lines of Luigi to me, where Diddy is one of my most played characters in Brawl. So I'm gonna advocate right now. I really, really hope they don't change anything about Diddy. Anything at all. I love Diddy's moveset. His final smash, his up B. I guess the only thing, if you wanted to change, I guess you could change his banana peel move, since some people, I mean, not too many people actually use it, unless, like I said, you're actually competitively playing the game, which I doubt all of you are. Maybe a couple of you are and care about that kind of stuff. Or another thing, there's something I do have a tiny bit of problem with. I mean, it's not too much, but I think that his up B should take less time to charge, because there'll be those few times where you're falling down the stage and you need to recover, and the amount of time it takes for you to fully charge his up B, by the time you got it fully charged, you'd already be dead. So I just like maybe a second and a half or something less time to charge it up would make it so that he just, because a lot of people complained about that. Another thing, though, I think that was really cool about Diddy was that if you're using your up B, if someone attacks you, the barrels will disconnect and you'll kind of like fall. That was kind of cool and realistic. Diddy, here's another cool thing, though, and I hope they keep with Diddy, is that in Brawl, Diddy was rated in the tier list like really, really high. He wasn't the top, he was like 5 or 6 or somewhere up there really high, which I hope that in ssb4 they keep him where he's a really good character like that, where he's really high in the tier list. And again, the tier list to some people doesn't matter, but I do base some of my opinions on the tier list. Like, there's some people that are really low on the tier list that I really like, which I'll get to later when I get to their slides. But that might actually be in the second part. I don't know if I'm gonna do this all in one sitting, because I don't know. I just don't think I'll probably be able to do it in one sitting. Alright, next we got King K. Rool, the main villain of the Donkey Kong series. Now, the problem with King K. Rool is he hasn't appeared in like the last 2 or 3 Donkey Kong games. I think it's 2. Yeah, the last 2 it might be 3, but I think it's 2. But he's still the main villain of the Donkey Kong series. And the thing with King K. Rool is he has a plethora of things to use for moveset. He could use the gyrocopter from his Baron K. Rulenstein ego. He just has so much. He could use like a blunderbuster when he was Captain K. Rool. He could do like for a forward B, the charge move he has in the original Donkey Kong game. For a final smash, you could do like a cannonball barrage, where he like cannonballs fall from the sky, kind of like a PK Starstorm for NES, if you want to reference what it would be similar to. Now, 'cause I mentioned the charge move for King K. Rool, his like forward charge, which he had in the original one. I think King K. Rool would also kind of like what I said back in Bowser Jr. He would kind of make history in the fact that he'd be a heavyweight character, but he'd be one of the faster, more nimble. Not really. Oh yeah, I'd say nimble. He wouldn't be agile, but he'd be more nimble. Because in the original Donkey Kong game, during the boss fight, he could jump like really, really high, and so I think he'd probably be a lot more agile than like Bowser or Ganon, and even D. I mean, sure, D has the puff, but just on without the puff ability, King K. Rool is much quicker, and I think that King K would take a lot more to KO King K. Rool than it would for Bowser, King D, or Ganon, just because I think that out of the four of them, King K. Rool would have the best up B. The gyrocopter had bet if that is his up B, and if he gets into Smash 4, they gotta give him the gyrocopter, and it better give him a lot of vertical climb. As far as him being in like the tier list wise, I feel that just from my personal opinion, I think he'd probably be mid tier or even low mid tier, which is hard for me to say though because here's like a personal story. The first ever system game I ever played was the Donkey Kong 64, and so I kind of pride myself for that, which makes the Donkey Kong series like really emotional for me, and makes it one of the series I really, really enjoy over some of the other series that I don't really care for too much. And so yeah, seeing King K. Rool would just bring back memories of that. Oh, on a side note, the second game after that one I played was Super Mario RPG, which, spoiler alert, that will be talked about towards the very end of this video, or the second part, because that's one of the third-party characters is from that game. Yeah, I wonder who it is. Anyways, I'll probably end it off here for now. Next time, I'll probably continue with the rest of the Donkey Kong series, and then getting more into some of the other series. Mr. Weary 121 out.